Hi YouTube, I've been putting up loads of videos recently about kind of 80s toys. Mainly these are ones that I used to own as a child and then I've ended up kind of collecting back kind of obsessively. Um, and I've mainly been covering like figures and things like that because that's the main thing I want to collect. But tonight's video is about mainly Tamiya cars, but I'm just going to show you a couple of other things first as well. So go this way. So this is kind of where my sort of love of trucks started, I suppose. Started with this little tiny toy here. Some of you might remember this one. It's this supersized trucks Bigfoot. So if you have a look at my little example here, I managed to find this sort of mint condition one on eBay. Came out of the box and it looked basically like brand new. So I was quite pleased to find that. You have like a little key that you put in the back to start it up, and then it's got sort of 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive options, little gears on the top, and it only goes along in a straight line, but that was a good fun toy. And then I moved from that to, this was my first radio controlled car. So this is called Tandy Radio Control 4x4 Off-Roader. They did this yellow one and they did a bigger one that was red. And I remember getting this one Christmas, and I knew I was going to get it, and I'd made like a sort of a space under my bed so I can drive it under my bed and park it under there. So I'll just show you this just in case any of you had one as well. This will take you right back. I'll just pull this out. So again, I managed to find one that's never been used in mint condition, and here is the rather pathetic little control box that it came with, but it was a great toy. And I remember like having a Christmas where I had basically all my sort of cousins and things were there, and we went for a big walk, and I took this for a drive for the first time, and yeah, it was just really good fun. So that's that one. And then coming to the Tamiya stuff, what I really wanted for a very long time was this guy, the Tamiya Lunch Box. And I asked for this for Christmas for a few years running, I think. You know, managed to kind of persuade my parents to get it for me eventually. But yeah, it did take me a couple of years at least. And then what I did was I got it for Christmas and I only got the kit. I didn't get the control box. The control box had to come separately. So got it on Christmas Day, made it on Christmas Day. Had this van all kind of sat there, and I was thinking, you know, what's it going to be like to drive? But of course I couldn't drive it yet until I bought the control box and the battery pack and the charger and all that kind of stuff, so I had to wait a little bit longer. But it was an amazing present to get on Christmas Day and be able to build it there and then. I think probably at that stage I was about 13, 14, something like that. I remember my first kind of experience of Tamiya cars was a kid who had one when I was at school in middle school. So what would I have been, sort of 10 or 11 or something, and he had one then, and I think that was a Super Sabre, and he was driving it around the school playground and it was really fast. Anyway, this guy I didn't own when I was a kid, Tamiya Monster Beetle, but I have a really fond memory of this because I remember going to a massive toy shop in London, Hamleys I think it was, one Christmas, and it was hung up. This was hung up so you could look up at it, and it was like, oh, and I was like, I want one. And it was winter and it was all kind of snowy outside, and it was a bit like that scene from Home Alone, you know, where he goes in a big toy shop. It was just like that. So this one really again takes me back, and I, you know, bought it recently, built it, and you know, I'll never use it, I'll just keep it all mint. Okay, other cars that I've got an original Mud Blaster here. Again, it's like what's called a shelf queen, where it's kind of never used, it's just kind of for display. And then I've got Bullhead. This was a fairly recent purchase as well. And again, it's really nice to build it, paint it, and then just keep it all nice and crisp and mint. This is an original clodbuster, vintage clodbuster. I obviously never owned that back in the day because that was like one of the most expensive trucks. But it's a lovely thing because both this one and the Bullhead are massive. I mean, if you look at it compared to my hand here on the wheel, yeah, they're huge trucks, and they're four-wheel drive, four-wheel steering. So yeah, really quite kind of spectacular things. I've also got some of these little Tamiya Juniors. This is a little Wild Willie. I think I bought one of these from Beetle when I visited Beetle in their toy shop back in the day. And I've got like a mini monster Beetle. See the size of it there compared to the big version. All these do, they just take a couple of little batteries and they just literally drive forward. But they're good fun. There's a little mini lunchbox next to the big one. And here's a little mini Bullhead as well. I'll put it on there. Some of these little junior ones though, they go for quite a lot of money on eBay now. I remember there being like a little buggy one, I think it's called Crimson Glory, that I had back in the day, and the cheapest I found it for on eBay was like 80 quid or something, and normally it's more like about 120, so I haven't bought that. I'll show you a few control boxes as well. Here's an Attack R. I think I had an Attack Sport back in the day. Here's a Acom's Techniplus. This one I really remember from back then because it was in all the RC car magazines, but it was quite an expensive one. Exer Gemini. And this was the one that I bought to go with my lunchbox. So the first one I ever owned, Futaba Bionic Gold. And so yeah, I managed to get this one. Again, it's in sort of really mint condition. Here's the box for it. The box isn't in mint condition, but the the control box and everything is. So that was really nice to kind of find that. I think I had an orange flag on the top of mine, but apart from that, it's the exact one. So they used to release catalogues, Tamiya, like this. This is from '91, so it's a bit later. But what's really good about these, they used to have all these pictures of them sort of in action, and so you'd look at it and you go, ooh, I want one of those. And then what's really nice, they laid out all their cars like this in the catalogues, so it kind of made you go, yes, I quite want one of those. I think I had a Thunder Dragon back in the day as well. Here's a few more trucks and things. There you go, a few more trucks. So if I were going to buy a few more trucks to go with these ones, I mainly wanted to collect the trucks. I'd quite like to get Nissan King Cab and Blackfoot. They'd be quite cool. Maybe Midnight Pumpkin as well. So all the ones from that sort of time are the ones that I'm kind of most interested in. I've got a few petrol cars here. I'm trying to remember who they're by. I wasn't really into the petrol ones when I was younger, but I bought a few since. So I've got this road car here. This is a BMI one. BMT, sorry, not BMI. BMT. And then we've got this one. That's Kyosho Turbo Burns. And then I've got this one, which is more modern, HPI. And it's really good fun, that one. Can't remember what type it is, but it's HPI something. I don't think it's the Savage, but it's something similar. It's really fast and also quite scary because it's petrol, and it was the first kind of petrol one that I kind of owned really. I put petrol in it, started it up, and it wouldn't stop. And the wheels just ballooned, like it was going around so fast, the wheels just ballooned, and they came to, I'm not kidding you, to about here. They just flattened and turned into a disc, and they're going wee, making this massive noise, and I was holding it in my hand going ah! And I think in the end I had to just put it down, but that was an interesting experience. So I hope this video kind of takes you back a little bit. Tamiya is a great company. I mean, I'm calling it Tamiya. I'm sure I saw a video recently where they called it Tamiya. It may be that I've been pronouncing it Tamiya all these years and it's actually pronounced Tamiya. But if that's the case, that's a shame, because in my head it will always be Tamiya, I think, just because I've been calling it that for heaven knows how many years. So if you like these kinds of videos, check out all my other ones. Maybe hit subscribe, because there are so many kind of 80s toys. Like I say, it's mainly figures, but I cover all kinds of different things as well, like you know, collections of like pencil tops and erasers and key rings and badges and all that kind of thing. And I think I've got, at the time that I'm going to post this, I think there's about 30 videos up, so have a little look, hit subscribe, and then anything that I do from now on, it'll pop up and you'll be able to see it straight away. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.